Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real to Real 360. K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real to Real 360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge of wisdom so you can understand. Real to Real 360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it always taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy our show. Peace. Peace and blessings to Allah's mighty 5% nation, the gods and earth, to all the human families on the planet Earth. We bid you a love, peace, and happiness. High salute. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm DJ K-Wise, aka Kato, the Black Superhero. Welcome to the Real to Real 360 show. Listen, this is a special day for a special occasion, and I am very honored and very pleased to have this young gentleman right here on my side to introduce to you all and present to those who may not know of this man. But I'm not going to do it just by myself. You know, Real to Real is always the dynamic duo. So let me go ahead and bring on my co-host with the most. Y'all know who he is. He needs no introduction, but it's always proper to give due when it's done. Let's go. Bring him in.
Am I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
But who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
Who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
I can't hear you.
Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD.
Peace and blessings. G, what's good?
Peace, peace, peace. Good morning to all our followers, likers, and subscribers. Make sure that you hit that like button on YouTube, subscribe, and also share. This morning is going to be a very epic episode. We have this young man that's a singer, just to say the least. We're gonna let him talk about it, but a singer, and he's embarking on a journey that a lot of us wish that we could. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce Mr. Uncle Rob.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Man,
Thanks
it's a pleasure. The pleasure you have
Pleasure.
me.
Man, yeah.
I'm honored. I'm just telling you, I was talking to my brother about you and saying, listen, man, we got to get this brother on the show here, and because he's got a story to tell. You know, his journey is remarkable. You know, he's got some insight. For all the ladies out there that's still looking for that old school crooning, it's the man right here.
Oh, thank you, man. Wow, you got me. You know, I got to stand up in high cotton now, but talking like that, right?
Well, you know, before we get into it, I would like to say that this young man right here is from the great state of South Carolina, doing his thing in the R&B world. From the great state of South Carolina, you know, doing this thing in the R&B world. From the great state of South Carolina, once again, as far as originally from. But, you know, I had to rub that in because I get it all the time. Shout out to Mississippi, man. I love y'all. I know I'm here. We're going to get into it. But right now, it's the Carolina thing. You know what I'm saying? The roots is here. So before we get started, why don't you just give everybody a brief little introduction about who Uncle Rob is?
Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm just a country boy out of South Carolina, like we said. No pun intended to my brothers in Mississippi because they come with it. But you know, I've been doing music pretty much all my life. Went to an HBCU, Clark, Atlanta.
Okay.
Right. Played ball there. Got kids, stuff like that. Wife. But I've always enjoyed that music, that jazz, that old school, and then this Southern soul that's that's beating everybody down. King George, I think he's from South Carolina as well.
Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So I'm just a country boy. I'm not much other than an artist trying to make it, man.
All right. Big bro. Mississippi.
Yeah, you have to excuse me. You have to excuse me this morning. Now with all that said, when did you start singing? When was when was the first time you really knew that you could sing, and were you a part of a group, church? Where did it start at?
Well, I'm a bass player, trombone player by trade, right?
Right.
And so I started singing, to answer your question, I started singing out front probably early 2001, 2002 kind of thing.
Mhm.
And that's when I really got into writing music and kind of doing my own arrangements. And after you write songs and you get into the studio with singers, they may or may not feel the song the way you intended or wrote it. So I just started singing it myself, and people begin to kind of like it. So I'm in the singing part of entertainment for probably about the past 20 years now. Yeah, I cut my teeth with gospel music. There's a group that I sing with, a group called the Gospel Sensations. We've been on BET. We've opened up for Yolanda Adams, the Mighty Clouds, Luther Barnes. Traveled with them a little bit, and we've been doing that. And my music has continued to evolve. I've written music for a movie called Leaving the Game, which is like a B movie. I did the score for that. Just one thing led to another. I just kept having fun, man.
Okay. Now, did you go to school for music? Was it something that you went get your degree in? And how did you learn how to play the trombone at different times?
Right. Oh, that's a great story. I was actually I was about 9 years old, 9 years old in my music class, and we had the little tonettes back in the day. It's a long time ago, right? But anyways, the music teacher in the class, this was actually before our schools were integrated, and we had to play our little parts while he played the piano, just part of the curriculum for that for school back during that in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, when he was playing a particular song, I had already the day before practiced my solo. I was going to jam with him, and then he caught me playing it, and man, he just went off in the class and made me come to see him after school. And when I was really, your parents didn't play that back then, right? So he took me home. Make a long story short, he took me home, and I knew I was going to get a killing because my mom and dad, they didn't play that. And so when he got home, he told my parents that your child is gifted. Well, heck, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know about, man, I got some kind of disease or what am I? So he started teaching me trombone in the 9th grade. I mean, when I was 9 years old, actually took me under his wing, started teaching me that. And by the time I was 11 years old, I was playing first chair trombone in the high school jazz band. I wasn't tall enough to march with him or whatever. And I always had a love for the bass because of James Brown, and the bass player for James Brown was killing it. So I just picked up the bass, and by the time I was 14, 15 years old, I was playing 2 instruments publicly, the trombone, the bass, and doing a lot of different things. And he was actually teaching me how to write music for the bass clef and the treble clef. So we actually pulled like all that together. And I had I'm going to call it sports. I love sports. I played baseball, football, and basketball, and that kind of intervened in some of the music because I played college basketball in Clark, Atlanta for 4 years, graduated, majored in finance and accounting, got my master's degree in finance, And then I was working on my second master's degree, and all of a sudden in 96, 97, I said, no, I'm not doing that no more. I want to play music. So I stopped my education I guess I was about 6 classes away from my second master's degree. And I'm like, I ain't doing this no more. I want to do music. So my parents looked at me like I was crazy, but it was all good. And I started there, man. So I decided to follow my dream, right?
Absolutely. So who were some of your inspirations when it comes to back in the day singing?
Oh man, well, you got to get James Brown his due. When you understand the one, and you lay it down, and I guess the tempo like 106 to 115 beats per minute in that range, you want to get funky with it. And from there, you got to go to the Temptations. David Ruffin, man, that's my boy. And then obviously Dennis came along. So I remember riding on the bus, right back of the bus, beating on my books, trying my best to sing like David Ruffin, and Dennis Edwards singing Psychedelic Shack and My Girl and all that. Me and the fellas that I grew up with, So it was just one thing after another. Yeah. So I'll give those two. My biggest influences was the Temps and James Brown.
Now today, you have an opportunity to sing with the Temptation Review. How did that come about?
Oh well, my guy, the guy that handles me, my agent, William Martin, he's been some of everywhere. He still works with the Beach Boys, the Temptations Review. He's been all over the place. Melba Moore. Yeah. So about 2 or 3 years ago, he heard me sing with a group and called Silk Groove. And he promised me then 2 or 3 years ago, man, he said, you're a perfect fit for the Temps. I'm like, man, that would be a dream come true, right? Mm-hmm. And right. 2 or 3 years later, he walked. I called him one day. Hey, man, what's up? We're going back and forth about some of the music that I'm doing of my own original stuff. And Nate Evans was on the phone with it, and so he said, "Let me conference you in, right?" So he conferenced me in, and we talked for about an hour and a half. And he finally said, "Send me some material," and I sent him some videos and some of my original stuff, and he told Will, that's the one. He's who I want. And so from there, William Martin, he made everything else happen.
Okay. We have some of your music here now. What song do you have queued up, big bro?
What we're going to go with is Last Chance.
Okay. So, Uncle Rob, you want to introduce it?
Yeah. This song, Last Chance, is about a guy getting up in age, and this is his last chance to do it and achieve some of the dreams that he wanted in life. Even though he may, I reference it and compare it to like a lady, but it's really about the music.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, his Last Chance. Okay.
I know what you want, 'cause I know you've been watching me. Pretty big frame, baby, what's your name? Come on, show me what I want to see. I want to see you shake like pound cake. Let me see your body shake. Big legs, hot heels, baby, come get me baby. I'm obsessed, I confess. Baby, this is your chance. Come on and take me, baby. Last chance to dance with me. I wanna dance with nobody but you, baby. Last chance to dance with me. Girl, nobody is like honey to my eyes. The way you move it makes me hypnotized. You're my queen on the throne. I wanna take you home and dance with you, baby. Woo! Last chance to dance with me. Ooh-wee, baby. Last chance to dance with me. I wanna take you home, baby, and chase you all around the room. I'm gonna make love to your body, baby. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Last Chance by Uncle Rob.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yo,
Smooth criminal.
Oh, wow.
Now, I noticed that horn section in the music. Who was part of the band that was? Because it sounded like if the band was playing in the studio, that you took it back, like back in the days when the band was playing, when the artist was singing. So,
yeah.
Who was the band that was actually playing for this song?
Yeah, in that particular band, we made up. If I'm allowed to give all those guys credits, right? Blue Thompson is the sax player with the NCCU. I think it was one of his instructors was Bradford Marcellus, sax player.
Wow.
So that's one of the guys. That's the sax player that I use. The drummer was a brother by the name of Calvin Napper. He's the drummer for Frankie Beverly and Maze. The percussionist is Sadar Jones. He's played behind people like he was percussionist for Anthony Hamilton. The keyboard player, he's Turner Battle. Turner Battle's played behind some of, well, I say everybody up to and including Gladys Knight. Allison Williams. I mean, he's huge. Then you've got the bass player Mel Gray. He's actually played behind John P. Key. See who else we have there on that particular song. I think that got everybody. One of the organ player was a brother by the name of a young guy by the name of James Moody. He's played behind people like In Vogue. So, you know, you got live sound and you got studio sound. Is what I've learned over the years, right? So you a lot of live musicians are great. Energy transfer, the whole 9 yards, but when you go into the studio, it's a little different animal. And I use pretty much the same musicians all the time because once you in the studio, I mean, because if you find that right chemistry, that right vibe, you know, boom, that's the team you want to stick with. I remember this particular song. We went in at Ovation Sound Studio over in Winston-Salem, if I'm allowed to say their name, with William Stevens, Bill Stevens. You know, we go in at, let's say we're in the studio that night at 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we go into the car. You know, these guys are pros. You just send them the material and they come in and they talk about it before they even start playing for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we cue everything up, get every sound right, and then boom, we hit it. We go. You know, so that's kind of how we roll.
Okay. What was the first group you were a part of professionally?
Professionally or the first group period? Because everybody started in high school, right?
Right, everybody. Yep. But what was your first group in high school? Let's go there.
All right. We had, oh my God. So they're going to kill me, I know. But at the end of the day, we had a group called War Phase 2 because at that time, War was off the chain. And a lot of folks don't know about the group War, man. They were off the chain, right? So we tried to emulate those guys with all of the timbales and all of the stuff that's going on, man. And we were just doing, I'm going to call it high school gigs, you know, around the little area. Man, it was a lot of fun. You had to have a horn section. You know, everybody had their own horn section, the trumpet player, the trombone player, and the bass player, and a couple of keys, and 2 guitars, and all that stuff. And, you know, you get your dad, you know, let you, you know, can I borrow your truck to haul all this stuff? It was crazy, man, but we had a lot of fun. War Phase 2, and then I went off to school, and we came back, and then I became the bass player for a group called the Electric City Band. These guys really taught me. They were all older. I was 21, and they were in their 30s and 40s, and so in their 30s and 40s, and so they really taught me about how to make the music in sync, not overplay anything like that, right? So I really learned that from them, and I just kept rolling with it. Then I went to graduate school, and you know, and then the kids started coming, and so you had to stop for a little while and make sure all that was taken care of, right?
Right.
And from there, I started doing gospel music with a quartet, the Gospel Sensations, and really love doing that. Learn a lot with that as well about the studio process, really. And along the way, a couple of times I've done, I've actually done some, I call scores for a couple of movies and TV commercials and stuff like that. That's kind of where I began to cut my teeth dealing with the technical stuff that you guys know so well. And so with that, I started doing legacy Motown music, right? And this gentleman who's joined us, William Martin, he's my agent that handles me. He ran into us doing that, and then he started telling me. I guess he watched me for a little while because that's kind of his nature, to watch you first just to see. And from there, he said, well, about 2 or 3 years ago, he said he's going to be able to make me, you're going to be, I can get you into Temptations, this, that, and the other. I mean, yeah. Thank you very much, sir. And here we go. It took a little while, but here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. William Martin just stepped into the studio. Absolutely. And I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and the part that you play in Uncle Rob's new situation.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late. I closed the road down there. Y'all don't know that, do you? Yeah. But anyway, yes, I had the pleasure of working with Rob years ago in a band. I was a musician, and he was one of the frontline singers. And I kind of looked at him and watched him and noticed that he had what it takes to get into the professional world, which I thought that was something that he would definitely be interested in. And as I talked to him, he really expressed the interest of being with a major national group. And I started watching him close, and we had conversations about it. And the group I fit him with was the Temptations, and that's what his lifetime dream was. And he really displayed everything that the Temptations. I know their criteria because I played for them for years and worked with them. So you got to be tall, you got to be kind of thin, know how to move around.
Right.
If you've seen a Temptation, not putting anybody down, but you never seen them 5 feet tall. No. He had to be 6 feet plus, and he fit all the criteria. Plus, his talent was impeccable on stage. He know how to handle himself on stage. So the opportunity presented itself with the Temptations, and they called me and they needed a baritone singer. Mm-hmm. So that was the opportunity for Rob to come in and do his thing. And we did some phone interviews, and everybody loved him. And we sent in some clips that we had did back in the past when we was working in the band together, and they liked that also. So the rest is actually history. Mm-hmm. So, I told somebody the other day, you can open a door and you can walk in, but it depends on what you do when you walk in that door. Yes, sir. Sometimes, we want to walk in the door, we ain't qualified, or we don't put the time in to hone our craft. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have a problem because from a little boy, he was a Temptation. He wanted to be in that group. So that's who he patterned his style by. And guess what? God blessed him and the door was open. So he walked in. So this young man is going a lot of places. I really believe that. I'm going to work with him. Did you tell him about your beginning date?
No, I didn't mention it, but you go
well, we got some dates coming up, but Chicago, September the 9th, is going to be his debut with the Temptations. And I think it's going to be great. I think everybody's looking forward to it. And I'm going to be there. So he's not going to let nobody down. And everybody is, at the end of the day, it's all going to be gravy.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
What other acts in entertainment have you worked with besides the Temps?
I worked with the Temptations, the Platters, the Drifters, the Four Tops, the Contours. List goes on. I done forgot most of them. Every artist, every Motown artist I've worked with, the Supremes, the Marvelettes, all the Motown acts and different acts that has come up, in the past. I worked with them, played guitar for them, managed them. The Beach Boys is one. I do the tours with them. Just come out of a Midwest tour right before the pandemic. So it's been great. We do overseas. We do Spain, London, France, Germany, Brazil, Europe. I'm not Europe, but Asia. So it's been very interesting. It's been a good ride for me.
Now,
You know, bro, I have to tell you, I met these two gentlemen at a comedy club session, and he happened to have brought 3 comedians.
Yeah.
And meeting him and Mr. Rob, Uncle Rob here, man, it's been an impact on me. Like that's why I said I had to call you and let you know these 2 great gentlemen that I had met and talked about. And to see this man humble, his life work is all itself. He doesn't have to say much. It speaks for itself. And he's just that way. He's very humble about his business, but his credentials is intact. If, you know, he ain't the person to be like, he's not a boisterous person. I just know that he's not, but his work speaks for itself. Like I said, showing us the plaques on his wall, you know, the golden records, the platinum records, and the people he's worked with is phenomenal, you know. And then to come to find out when we interviewed Melba Moore, and I told him about it, he was like, that's my girl, you know. And then he pops up with a picture with Melba Moore and everything. I was like, wow, look at this, man. This is great. So it's an honor for me to meet these 2 gentlemen and hoping that we, with the Real to Real family, will work hand in hand with them and as things go along. So, like I said, it's just phenomenal. I want Rob to really talk about what he's got going on tonight at his spot, so we can get more people to come on out, support, and see this young man in action and see what he's truly about. Because listen, he has a golden voice. Outside of what you just heard, I heard it firsthand, you know, so I can really say he's the one.
Well, we on every second Sunday we have what we call Juke Joint Sunday, where we do everything from Ray Charles to James Brown all the way up through Luther Vandross is probably our limit. I'm gonna call it what we used to say in South Carolina. Our brothers is like we like the old school Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor from out your way around Mississippi and Arkansas and all that. I get it. Bobby Womack. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, well, we do that. Okay. David Ruffin. Yeah, so we normally have that on Juke Joint Sundays. This week, today, we're kind of moving things around. So we have to delay it, come up with another date Sunday, pushing that out. We've got so much at my restaurant. We just took on a federal contract to do supply breakfast and lunch to like small minority charter schools. So my wife and I, we're getting ready to knock all of that out. So we've got a lot on our plate, man. So we got to move that date around today, but we plan to still have dinner with Allison Williams and all of that. We're working on pushing. William is trying to influence her to do a duet with me.
Yeah.
So it's going to help me more. It's going to help her. I'll tell you.
It's already fixed. Man.
Yeah.
Already done.
Right. Yeah. She's won an Emmy. Just recently won an Emmy.
Just recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's putting a strategy together to kind of get more visibility. And in walks this young brother right here, and I'm like, man, this is nothing but God. And then my brother it's truly amazing to see how things are unfolding. But you know, you get good food. We're the only soul food restaurant in Guilford County that has a 5-star rating. We've been open a year. We have live. When I say live, killer musicians. Calvin Napper's been there. I mean, just Turner Battle, piano players, I mean, these guys are with me everywhere I go. Yeah. So it's kind of what we
now, Uncle Rob, so you do have live performances at your restaurant?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the name of the restaurant, and can you give the location so the people can come to it and support?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's my man right there. The name of the restaurant is called Uncle Rob's Restaurant, right? And the address is 3722A South Holden Road in Greensboro. Zip code 27406. You can look us up on Facebook, or you can contact me at 336-830-6529. Reach out to your boy, and we'll make sure you get there.
All right.
Enjoying life, man. That's what we do.
Hey, if you're in the Triangle, make sure that y'all go step out there to Uncle Rob's Soul Food Restaurant so y'all can get a great meal and get some great music while you're there.
Yeah, and I better plug in that, that this is my wife's dream. I better plug that in, otherwise it ain't gonna be pretty when I get home.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Now,
Beautiful.
When did you establish yourself? We talked about 2001 when you started singing, but when did you really feel like you established yourself as a professional artist?
Ooh,
Wow,
man.
that's a good question.
That's a real good question.
This is real to real.
Yeah, y'all digging deep. Okay, so I don't think I'm really established, because once you think you're there, you just lost it.
Right.
So for me, I love what I do. I love learning. I love the process. But I'm probably my biggest critic. So I don't think I'm really established. I think that it's a journey, and I hope it never ends. But I will work hard to bring good quality music.
Mhm.
But I'm just still learning, man. I'm a perpetual student, so I don't think I'm there yet. I'm there. Even if I were, even this guy has wherever he's going to take me, I don't think I'm there. I think I'm blessed. I know that. And I thank God for that, but I'm just a country boy out of South Carolina trying to enjoy life.
Well, that's my coworker right there, Miss Clover.
Okay.
She said that she'll be there the next time she's in the area. So
All right. Good morning.
definitely. Good morning. Thank you, sis, for tuning in. But being that you've been in the game for a singing part and up front since 2001, what is it that you will give to a younger artist trying to break into the music business about how to conduct themselves and how to handle themselves?
Yeah, what would you tell me?
First of all, I'm going to say, believe it or not, keep it clean.
Yeah.
Keep it clean and transfer energy when you perform. That doesn't mean over singing the song. If a song is good, it'll sell itself. I think sometimes the quality of what's out there and selling is not necessarily the quality that used to be. It's not knocking any of the new school, but I would advise them, dress accordingly. That image is critical to me. Take care of yourself, eat right, take care of your voice. My daughter, I have a daughter that sings classical music, and she sings classical music in 4 languages.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so she's working on her project, and I'm raised her from a puppy, but we try to keep it clean, man. Keep it clean. Listen to what your audience is telling you, because whether or not if you can't put butts in seats, it's not going to work.
Right.
There's a business side of it. But I'm going to say, if you can always put a message of love or wisdom and knowledge in it, drop that gold nugget in there while you got that groove. Just infuse something that maybe could uplift somebody or help them through a trying time if they're having relationship issues, and or in terms of helping humanity. I mean, one of the greatest albums that was ever done to me was Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, And that album, those records, those songs still ring true.
Oh yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, how important is it to actually learn how to write your own music?
Oh man, if you're in it for the money, that's what the money is. Writing your own stuff, man, is critical. It's very important because I think you listen to a lot of different artists, and they may inspire you in certain ways, or you like how they, the chord melodies or the beat of the song, but you've got something you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at it, you own your own masters, you write your own songs, you understand the money transfer and all of that, and you build your audience. You won't get everybody, but if you can cross over, that's even better. There's a song written by years ago. I write the song that makes the whole world sing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can do that, I think your music won't be in vain.
Yeah. We got a question now from Miss Cloverleaf. She's asking, what's your favorite song to sing?
Woo! I'm gonna say my favorite song to sing is Lady Soul by the Temps. Yeah, Lady Soul. And that brother, may he rest in peace, Ollie Woodson. Yeah, he really, really inspired me to get into the singing. All beforehand with James Brown, I'm getting into the bass, it's like, man, I got to get funky. But when Ollie Woodson came along, I'm like, man, I got to do this. So we started there, singing in the shower, so to speak, try to make that happen. Yeah, Ollie Woodson, Lady Soul. Would love to sing it for you, Miss Cloverleaf.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, you have a song called "Heaven Send Me an Angel."
Oh boy. Okay. His brother here, he off the chain. Okay. So that song is about I'm pretty sure there's a brother out there that has had his heart snatched out of his chest.
Come on.
So you can go through heartache and things like that. And so you just sit down, and for me, the therapy part of it is writing music. And so it was asking God to send me someone to replace the love I lost, I guess.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Heaven Send Me an Angel by Uncle Rob.
What should I do when I see him kissing you? What should I say? Should I just turn and walk away? I'm in need of someone that I can call my own. Heaven send me, please send me. What should I feel when it's so hard to deal with the thought of losing you? Never realized you that made me whole. I'm in need of someone that I can call my own. Heaven send me, please send me.
someone just for me. Someone to hold me tight and make love constantly. I'm the kind of guy who don't believe that chivalry is dead. So send me to me. Send me an angel. Someone. Oh, send me to me. I'm the kind of guy that don't believe that chivalry is dead. No. And I believe a woman should be treated with the utmost respect. Oh, yes, I do. Sing her on down to me. Sing your love on down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Heaven Sent Me an Angel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they don't write them like that no more, right? It's old, straight up old school from South Carolina.
Good morning, Sabrina. How you doing?
I was going to say that how has music changed over the years that you've noticed when it comes down to writing?
Boy, this boy going deep. Okay. I'm gonna need some oxygen after this guy here, right? Back in the day, you had compositions. I mean, for instance, Curtis Mayfield, who's to me one of the greatest writers, if not the greatest writers ever, his music outlived the actual movie Superfly. So that album Superfly, and the different to listen to the different compositions, the strings, the oboes, the French horns, the percussion instruments. I mean, it was just huge, man. So now we get to, and it was all about love. It wasn't about the B word or the name calling and this, that, and the third. I mean, it's so now we're here forward. We fast forward to this time, and I understand that they are so-called recording their experience that they've experienced in their upbringing, whether they lived in the hood or whatever they call it. It's just more. It's less musical. It's more rhythmic and more. I call it social engineering, wherein that we take a song and we now degrade our women sometimes. That's not the path that we should take. Now, if you take those type of rhythms and put in it a message from Dr. King or Malcolm or something along that line and keep that same groove, it'll change the world. But it's more now, shake your booty. We're just selling hits on the internet, right? So I would say we've gotten sidetracked, but I'm praying that the next generation get us back on course. And not just sing about love, but wisdom and knowledge and what I call real education or true education. Right. Something that will take you down the road, and help you live a better life. I'm not knocking what has happened, but it kind of feels like the music was hijacked, and now we get R&B from sources that we normally didn't get R&B from. Now we get jazz from sources we didn't necessarily get jazz from. So how do we get us back on the playing field with that type of music? Is hopefully part of what you guys are doing and the great work that you all are doing to bring these issues to the forefront.
Now, I was going to touch on what you were stating, how music used to speak about love and actual events that were going on and trying to be a resolution to the community. Now the music has changed where it glorified the negative instead of trying to be the solution for the problems. As a artist, how do you feel like we can redirect the music back to that? Because like you said, Marvin Gaye, Brother What's Going On, and a lot of different great songs of that nature. So how can we get back to that?
First of all, I think guys like yourself that have access to the media, we got to figure out a way on how we challenge the artists that are out there now to get better, to get more aligned. And that comes from you all's voices inspiring a vision that everybody shares. You know what I'm saying? So we can lay down a roadmap of saying, okay, here's a song that has a nice beat, nice harmony scientifically, and they touch you emotionally. And how can you infuse a message from a Gil Scott-Heron or a Nikki Giovanni or Dr. John Henry Clark or whoever that type of information in there, in that particular groove or those particular melodies, and subliminally educate. Because nowadays, if you don't have I'm gonna call it the sexual innuendos or the type of dress that they can put with it on video, a lot of folks won't listen to it. So I'm going to challenge us from what I consider the leadership side of the music is how do we challenge these artists to get better and say, no, this is not acceptable. With you guys that have the internet capability and figured out all this stuff, how you do all of this, how do you inspire shared vision amongst all of the new artists that are coming out? Then what path do they go in terms of development? In order for a lion to roar, it first has to hear one. So we got to be able to say, okay, let's mentor these young kids and let them see. Geez, I mean, if we were to do a panoramic view of all this equipment and all this stuff that's going on, then you would say, hey, man, how do I learn? I'm 9, 10 years old. Can I see this? Or what does this do? What does that do? Share that with them. And then this next item I'm going to say that's really important. We got to be role models ourselves. I can't tell you or tell my kids to do X and this is how you present yourself. And I don't do it, and then love them all the way through their learning, because they're going to make mistakes and they're going to do this and they're going to do that, but we love you anyway. They can feel the love. So it's a heavy lift, and we won't get it all done in our lifetime or your lifetime, because you guys are younger than I am, but do your part.
That's a great question, John. I want to pose that to you too.
Yeah.
How would you answer that for yourself?
About the music of today? Well, I'm from old school. I came up with Al Green and the Temptations and all of the Motown acts and stuff like that. I've had opportunity to do the rap tours like the Cash Money Millionaires tour and the Rough Riders tour, and that was enough for me. I go out with the older people. They're more settled, seasoned, and we geared more to telling a story love and affection, and treat her like a lady. And you get back to Luther Vandross and all of them, they had those ballads and stuff like that. New wave music is totally different. Sometimes I have to turn it off because I don't like people to degrade a woman, period. You know, we as minorities, we never want to put on anything out there to degrade our sisters, our beautiful women that support us all the way. And then, you know, I see a lot of times it get crazy out there because people lose their identity and think it's all about them, but it's all about the people you serve, actually. I stay humble because, you know, we don't know at any time that all of this fame and fortune will be snatched right out of your reach quickly. And, you know, I thank God for keeping me on the road for many years and many miles, and ain't never had no really fatalities or, you know, bad situation. You always have situations. Somebody gonna act up. I mean, always. But, you know, music today is just totally lost the content that would push us farther, like Rob was saying, the Marvin Gayes and the people that had a meaning and tell a story. Curtis Mayfield was my artist. I love that guy. Good people. His writing style, his music was off the chain. You know, just, you know, it's just the young guys. They know you can't tell them anything. They know how the music industry has been. You know, I've had fortunate to own a record company in Atlanta and work on movies in California with David Simeon and those crews. And, you know, you learn a lot. If you listen, you learn. And then if you're not giving back, there's two kind of people in the world, they're givers and they're takers. If you taking, you're never going to have anything. But if you're giving, I don't care if it's your time, your advice, or your service to people, you'll always be blessed. And that's why, you know, I take artists under my wing, like Rob. He's always been that guy. I've seen alcohol and drugs destroy a great artist. I've seen bad relationships destroy great artists, whether it's male or female. So, you know, when you decide to step out in the entertainment world, you really got to know what you want, how you want to do it, and you really got to be grounded, because success sometimes people can't handle success. It drives them insane. I mean, I was with an artist, I'm not going to call his name. They wanted the room painted, the hotel to paint the room before they got there. Just craziness, change the carpet and all that. Well, I said, well, you wasn't getting all that at home. Why you think you got to get it now? I mean, and I tell everybody, they say, man, how you did? I call myself a professional babysitter, because artists will do some of the craziest things. They leave the uniforms at the hotel, come with the wrong color. Man, it is a blast out there. Trust and believe. You got to be thinking when everybody's asleep. Right. I mean, they just do some of leave the passport in the hotel. We get ready to board the plane. I mean, it's just craziness. But at the end of the day, I love to see my brothers and sisters progress. If you got a lifetime dream, don't stop. Just keep pursuing it. I never believed that I would do some of the things that I have done, and God has blessed me. But you got to put yourself in the right predicament, the right place. And when it's your time, nothing can stop it. It's all about timing. All about timing. Hit record is timing. You get a hit record and it's not the right time, it probably won't hit. It's all about timing. I think this young man here, it's his time to do what he got to do. It's a little late for him, but it ain't over.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God I got in it on the early age. I'm on the downswing now.
Yeah.
So
you're right about that.
But you know what? It's never too late to
Right.
do what you got to do. And getting back to the, I refuse to work with certain artists because if they don't know how to present themselves, and like Rob said, keep it clean, you know, and then people looking at you all the time, you know, if you don't present integrity and you don't present yourself as a stand-up kind of guy or woman, well, people don't want to fool with you. You know, it's a reason why people turn us away. You know, the first impression is the last impression. You know, and I don't pray for money. I pray for wisdom and knowledge. And, you know, hey, the music industry is still going on where I'm in it or not, but I want to make an impact that I helped it instead of hurt it. And, you know, that's where I'm at with it. And, you know, it's a lot of things that I could tell you about things that's getting ready to unfold for this young man. I ain't calling him old.
I don't mind, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit. You know what?
Yeah.
'Cause I love it.
And you know what?
A lot of my friends didn't make it this age.
Yeah, he can act a little bit too. By the way, he can act a little bit. He can definitely act. You know, that the sky's the limit. Once you get your foot in the front door and get all the way in, well, the sky's the limit.
Right.
So, you know, I appreciate you guys for giving us the opportunity to come and sit and talk with us. And you know, it's gonna be all good.
I appreciate it. Uncle Rob and Mr. Martin, we're gonna have to bring y'all back.
Absolutely.
So especially right before September 9th, when he stepped on stage with the Temptations, because that's going to be a monumental day.
Thank you.
But we're coming to close of the show, and we would like to let all the followers and people who are watching right now know where they can see Uncle Rob, Mr. Martin, where the Temps will be at. Just let us know where they can support in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Well, I also want to say, if anybody want to book this young man, we have a company called Celebrity Direct. We based out of Port Charlotte, Florida, and we have everybody on our roster from comedians to R&B artists, jazz artists. Look us up if you want to get Uncle Rob. I'll give you my number. My number is area code 336-402-3727. If you want to book him, hey, we have a Supreme show. We have a Marvelette show to come along with his show. We're going to give you everything, as people say, everything you can think of, from the hits to the not hits. Whatever you request, we can do. And just call me, and we can make it happen for him. Get us in your place. We want to see your smile come down the aisle. You want to see your face in the place. Your face in the place. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Ja, before we go, could you play the song with him and his daughter is featured on there as well, so y'all can get a taste of how beautiful her voice is and everything, and them together.
Yeah.
Which song is that one?
That's
Understanding,
right?
Understanding Mellow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for you. The woman, girl, not to try to hide. You didn't try her love for this other guy, baby.
no need to explain. No.
I thank the angels for you, babe. And you were for me there. Try to make it easy for me. Yes, you did. Wherever you may go, baby, I want you to know you happen to call on me. And I'll be right by your side.
Thank God for you. Thank God. For it is very nice to see there's a man who understands how hard it is to take your hand and try to explain. Oh, thank the angels for you. You're the kind of man you are to be so understanding. Wherever you go, you happen to call on me. Now I'm gonna be right by your side. Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Oh, thank God above. We were able to see just how blessed we were in understanding fellow, in understanding fellow, in understanding fellow, in understanding
There it is. There it is.
He will.
Beautiful.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Uncle Rob and his daughter singing Understanding Mellow. Man, that's a beautiful song. And it has that strong jazz feel. But big bro, you know what time it is, man.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, I want to say thank you to each and everyone who's been listening, following, and continue to please like, subscribe, and share to the Real 360 show. I want to extend again my hand to these great gentlemen that we will bring them back. Uncle Rob, Mr. Martin, big time. Listen, these gentlemen are doing great things, and we at Real 360 are going to support them as well. You know, like we tell everybody, you don't got a home away from home, you got a home right here. All right,
Oh,
bro?
boy.
So,
Amen.
you know,
Amen.
you know,
right
maybe one day I'll be able to bless the mic or something. You know, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's
But,
coming. That's coming.
But we're gonna look for some more great interviews and stories coming from these great gentlemen and so forth. And we're gonna do what we do. Make sure you come out to Uncle Rob's restaurant tonight if you in the Greensboro area. You don't want to miss it. All right, you don't want to miss it. Support. not only just for the entertainment purpose, but coming out to support his business, him and his wife's business. We all are about networking and helping each other to grow. All right, bro, that's all we have right here. Thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning into the Real 360 show. On behalf of my co-host with the most, none other than Mr. PhD himself, Joshua Allah, I am DJ K Wise. We'll see you when we see you. We love you. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, we want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing, and tell a friend and keep sharing, because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ K Wise, my brother, take us up out of here, son.
True
Peace.
I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earths. To all the human families on the planet Earth, I say peace. But to our subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on, I give a big shout out of love, peace, and happiness to you. The peace of man, woman, and child of the you and I verse. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the Real 360. Bring a friend to hit that like and subscribe so we continue to grow to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you. Upon our show, you make it